Welcome, Girl Scouts, to the first Michigan Women's Commission's Friday Night Live with the Commissioner. My name is Dana Dew, and I'm Director of Life Skills here at Girl Scouts of Southeastern Michigan, and I'm also your host for the evening. I'll be hosting with Kelly, who is our Life Skills Specialist. I'm so glad that you're able to join us this evening. Some people believe that girls are not as interested as boys in politics, but girls have long been engaged in activism, which means basically acting in ways to create big change in the world. It's just that sometimes our efforts have been ignored or we've been excluded. So GSSEM partnered with the Michigan Women's Commission because they, like us, know that girls are more likely to get active if they learn civic skills and participate in programs like the ones we've created with the commission, which be a combination of virtual sessions like today, physical in-person events, and also a mentorship. So be on the lookout. Civic skills are the skills that you need to participate as informed, thoughtful, and engaged citizens. Now, this tonight marks the first of 10 virtual speaker sessions with the commission. And I'm telling you that you will not want to miss any of them because each one is a unique opportunity to learn from women in leadership in our own state of Michigan, who are not just making a difference, but making a difference in the issues that are important to women and girls. I know every day you all are building courage, confidence, and character, and now you get to learn more ways to apply that to make the world a better place. So to make sure that we all have the best experience possible, I'm going to go over a few things that will be helpful. So one, you see that some of you have already done it, but if you could rename yourself with your first name, there's two options. You could rename yourself with your first name and your troop number, or you can rename yourself with your first name and your last initial. And the way that you would do that is in your picture window, you'll see three dots in the top right-hand corner. If you click on that and you scroll down, you'll see the option to rename. And there you can you can type in your name with your troop number or your name and your last initial. So during this presentation, there are going to be some giveaways. And the way that you can try to get one of the prizes that we have today is by the way you'll participate is through the chat. So what we're going to do is test out the chat to make sure that you know where it is so that you'll be able to participate when that comes available. So for the chat, if you go down to the bottom right-hand corner, or for me, it's the bottom right-hand corner and it says chat. So I want you all to take a moment to try to find your chat. And if you could for me, type in the word test. So if you see, I've typed in the word test. So I want to make sure that you all have access to the chat and can do that before we get started. All right, great. I see those coming through. Now, you'll be muted during the presentation, but I do want to encourage you to use your reactions. So I want you all to take a moment to find reactions there. And for example, if we want to welcome someone, we'll give them a hand, a round of applause. If you like something you hear, feel free to heart it or give it a thumbs up. I'd love to see those reactions. Now, I know you'll have some burning questions during this presentation. So I do suggest that you have a sheet of paper next to you where you can write down those questions. And I promise you, we will have Q&A at the end where we'll get to some of your questions. You'll get an opportunity to ask them in the chat. And some of you asked questions in the form that we said beforehand. So we'll get to a few of those as well. Now, if you are having any technical issues or concerns, you can direct message myself or Kelly in the chat, and we will be moderating and looking at it and addressing any of those issues that you may have during the evening. Now, I'll ask if you haven't already that you please turn on your cameras, and I'll also remind you that this presentation will be recorded. So without further ado, I will introduce you to our first presenter of the evening, the CEO of the Michigan Women's Commission, Cheryl Bergman. Let's give her a warm Girl Scout welcome and all of our attention.
Good evening, everybody. It is so wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces. Thank you for joining tonight. As Dana just mentioned, I am Cheryl Bergman. I am the CEO or Chief Executive Officer of the Michigan Women's Commission, which means I lead the organization. That's me. And you probably wonder, what is a commission? So the Michigan Women's Commission is a group of women, and a commission in general is a group of people who come together with a common goal. And the Women's Commission is one of over 200 commissions that are in the state of Michigan. And one of those commissions, for example, besides the Michigan Women's Commission, is the Hispanic and Latino Commission. And their goal is to come together and focus on issues that impact that population of the Hispanic Latino people of Michigan. So the Women's Commission, again, we are 15 women, a group of 15 women, and all of these women are appointed or chosen by the governor of Michigan to serve on the commission. And our goal is to help the women of Michigan thrive, because we know that when women thrive, our communities and our families thrive. So that's our goal. So we survey the women of Michigan, meaning we ask the women of Michigan, for example, in a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, right before the pandemic shut us all down, the Women's Commission traveled the state and spoke to women across the state, asking them what their challenges are, what are their priorities, what would help them to thrive. And once we gather all that information, we get together and we make recommendations, policy recommendations to the Michigan legislature, who make the laws and create the policy, and the governor of Michigan, make policy recommendations to help address these challenges that women have told us they face. For example, one of those challenges that they face are childcare, and the lack of childcare and how expensive childcare is. So that is one of the issues that the Michigan Women's Commission is focused on, in helping women and families afford and find childcare. Is it time for a quiz now? No, not yet. Not yet. Jumping the gun. So now I am going to hand things over to Miss Vivian Picard. And Ms. Picard is the chair of the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee on the Michigan Women's Commission. And she was appointed or selected by Governor Whitmer to serve on the commission. And I'll let Vivian take it from here.
Thanks, Cheryl. Good evening, everyone. It's so great to see such beautiful, shiny faces on a blurry, rainy Friday afternoon. And there's no place I'd rather be at 5:30 on a Friday afternoon than with a group of Girl Scouts. That's correct, right, Cheryl? Absolutely correct. But anyway, just welcome. And I, as Cheryl mentioned, I serve on the Michigan Women's Commission. I was appointed by the governor. This is my second term serving on the commission. And I believe that I spent my first term kind of understanding the commission. And with my second term, the governor appointed me to serve again. And of course, I then became chairperson of the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee. And I know you all are asking, what is the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee? That's a lot, correct? The visible, authentic leadership committee, we are really, in a nutshell, responsible for really increasing the number of women in leadership roles within the state of Michigan. If you look at the CEOs of many of our corporations within the state of Michigan, many of those, our corporations are led by men. If you look at most of the mayors in our cities, so many of our mayors are led by men. Those are just a couple of examples, but what we are trying to do within the Michigan Women's Commission is to really increase the number of women in leadership roles. And that includes not only women in leaderships within corporate America. We want more women in leadership roles within the political community, nonprofits, you name it. We want our women to lead, because when women lead, of course, our issues are included. You wouldn't want a man making decisions about your body as a female, correct? We're a little bit different. So therefore, we need women in these leadership roles so that we can speak up and say, okay, a female is different because, or these are some issues that impact us as women. As Cheryl mentioned, the childcare issue. Of course, we understand that many men do take care of childcare needs within the household, but in most cases, it is the mother's role, as many of you know. So therefore, we understand that that's a need of the family. Currently, there are about 5 million women in the state of Michigan. And what we want to do is really in leadership roles is try to develop some kind of parity within women that are serving in these leadership roles. Right now, legislators in the state of Michigan, we're at about 40%. And we're doing better than most states. When you look at many other states, they're nowhere close to 40%. So in Michigan, we are doing much better. So the reason for this program this evening is we want you to understand very early on the significance and importance of having women in leadership roles. You can help serving in leadership roles. You can make decisions regarding our health. You can make decisions regarding our experiences. You can showcase your perspective as a female when you serve in these leadership roles. And that's why it's so important for us to really start you out at a very early age with you understanding how you can be impactful as a leader, not only in your state, but really in the country. So really, this is kind of the start of really trying to educate all of you as to how you can serve in leadership roles. We're trying to prepare you early on, and I'm so happy that so many of you have decided to join us this evening. So when you hear the word leadership, what do you think of? And I'm going to now turn it over to our moderator so she can start asking some of the questions. But I think we want to say to all of you on the call tonight, you're all great leaders because you decided to spend Friday afternoon at 5:30 on this call to learn about leadership in the political community. So thanks so much for joining us. So you can check box 1 that from a leadership perspective, that you are a great leader simply because you are engaging and learning this afternoon. Thank you.
So when you hear the word leadership, what do you think of? Choose one word and then type it in the chat. So some of the answers, when I think of leadership, I think of someone who is the head of something. And that was from Athena. Someone who's helpful, Zaire. Responsible, that's what Grace noted. Alexandria noted strong. Passionate, Nisha. Another one for responsible, Addison. We have teamwork, another one for strong. These are some great, great answers. Powerful from Harper and Audrey. Courageous. That's an answer that we have from Amelia. And another one is for responsible from Sarah and Allie. Fair. Respectful. A role model from Asia. And Kara says, when I hear the word leadership, I think of friends. And again, of being strong. So we got some great answers here about what they
Dana,
think
I
about
love
leadership.
the answers that they have provided simply
I do
because,
too.
I mean, these are all things that any of us would want in a boss, if you will. So the respectful, the responsible, the honest. So you all came up with some great answers in terms of characteristics that you would want in a leader. I certainly would want these in my boss.
Right. Okay, thank you, ladies. All right. So let's talk leaders. So you will learn about a woman leader in government or on a board or commission. And then it's quiz time. So when it comes time for the quiz, submit your answer in the chat. So you'll see a woman's full name and it'll be a letter by her name. You'll have the option of A, B, C, or D so that you can be fast in the chat. All you have to do is type in the letter. So you don't have to type in the full name. And there it is. Okay, so we are going to get started, learn about these women. Are you ready?
Okay, first woman up is Jenna. So take a look at these and remember, because the quiz is coming up. Jennifer Granholm. She was the first woman governor of Michigan. And she is currently the United States Secretary of Energy. Gretchen Whitmer is our current governor of Michigan. Dana Nessel is the first woman to be the Attorney General of Michigan. Jocelyn Benson is the first woman to be the Secretary of State for Michigan. Quiz time! Get ready to put in your answers in the chat. She was the first woman of governor of Michigan and is currently the U.S. Secretary of Energy. Is it A, Jennifer Granholm, B, Gretchen Whitmer, C, Dana Nessel, or D, Jocelyn Benson? Put your answers in the chat. For your chance to win spectacular prizes.
And everyone's getting it right.
Woo, fantastic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next question. Yay. It is Jennifer Granholm. She's our current governor of Michigan. Is it Jennifer Granholm, B, Gretchen Whitmer, C, Dana Nessel, or D, Jocelyn Benson? Go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next question. B, Gretchen Whitmer. I think most of you got that one too. She is the first woman attorney general. Is it A, Jennifer Granholm, B, Gretchen Whitmer, C, Dana Nessel, or D, Jocelyn Benson? You guys are good. Photographic memories. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. C, Dana Nessel. I think you all got that one too.
Mhm.
And she is the first woman Secretary of State of Michigan. Is it A, Jennifer Granholm, B, Gretchen Whitmer, C, Dana Nessel, or D, Jocelyn Benson? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Jocelyn. Okay, Dana.
The winners of the first quiz are Nisha S, Alexandria H, Grace with troop 77091, Evelyn B, Sophia M, Mahika with troop 77715, Shaylin S, and Zaire B. And I'm going to type the names in the chat so you all know for sure. All right, congratulations.
Congratulations. Great job.
Dana, and Cheryl, I have a question outside of this. How many of you knew of these four ladies before tonight? If you knew about them, type yes or no. If you knew them, oh, you all are so smart.
They are on it.
Yes. So most of you already knew the answers.
Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic. We have a bunch of leaders in our little group already, Dana and Cheryl. They already know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Are we moving on to quiz 2 now? Is this Vivian running us through this one?
Yes. Okay, starting out now, Belda Garza. She's the first Hispanic woman in the Michigan legislature. Stephanie Chain, the first American woman in the Michigan legislature. Debbie Stabenow, the first woman U.S. Senator from the state of Michigan. And that is a big deal. Kyra Harris Bolden, the first Black woman to serve on the Michigan Supreme Court. She was recently elected. Sarah Anthony, the first Black woman to serve as the Appropriations Chair of the Michigan Senate. And this is a very important position. She controls the money and where the money goes. Quiz time. Are we ready? Okay, she was the first Hispanic woman in the Michigan legislature. Was it A, Belda Garza, B, Stephanie Chain, C, Debbie Stabenow, D, Kyra Harris Bolden, or E, Sarah Anthony?
Can you hear now?
Okay, countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is Belda Garza. Thank you. And look as if we have 100% correct. Next question. She's the first Asian American woman in the Michigan legislature. Belda Gaza, Stephanie Chain, Debbie Stabenow, Kyra Harris Bolden, or Sarah Anthony. Five, four, two, one, and looks as if everyone that indicated we have 100% correct answers. Congratulations to everyone again. She's the first woman U.S. Senator from the state of Michigan. Is it A, Belda Garza, B, Stephanie Chain, C, Debbie Stabenow, D, Kyra Harris Bolden, or E, Sarah Anthony? Five, four, three, two, one. The answer is Debbie Stabenow. And again, 100% correct. She's the first Black woman to serve on the Michigan Supreme Court. A, Belda Garza, B, Stephanie Chain, C, Debbie Stabenow, D, Kyra Harris Bolden, or E, Sarah Anthony? Five, four, three, two, one. And the answer is Kyra Harris Bolden. She's the first Black woman to serve as the appropriations chair of the Michigan Senate. A, Belda Garza, B, Stephanie Chain, C, Debbie Stabenow, D, Kyra Harris Bolden, or E, Sarah Anthony? Five, four, three, two, one, and the answer is Sarah Anthony. Thank you. And Dana, the winners are?
And the winners of the second quiz are Addison with troop 77025, Sarah and Allie, Zoe S., Skylar from Skylar's iPhone, Harper and Audrey with troop 76862, Layla with troop 77091, and Kara C. Congrats. And I'm going to pass it on to Vivian to tell us more about women on boards and commissions.
Hello again. And I am just going to talk about a little bit of a difference between women on boards and women that serve on commissions. In the state of Michigan, we have individuals that serve in elected positions within the state, and a few of those are the individuals that govern the boards of the University of Michigan, Wayne State University, and Michigan State University, those individuals are elected. They have to run for office for those positions. Many of you are in school, you're in education. The person that serves as the chairperson of the Board of Education or the board members for the Department for Education for the state of Michigan, those individuals are elected, statewide elections. The individuals that are appointed to certain boards, as Cheryl mentioned earlier, Cheryl was appointed to serve as the person in charge of the Women's Commission for the state of Michigan. I serve on the Women's Commission. I was appointed to that position. So there are many individuals that serve on various commissions for the state of Michigan. There are many commissions that are associated with healthcare. There are commissions that are associated with safety. There are commissions that are, you go get individuals, when you go get your hair, there's a commission done. There's a commission that helps to regulate the hair industry, the beauty industry, the health industry, the pharmaceutical industry. Those positions are appointed by the governor. That's the kind of the difference between the two. But what we want you to understand is that those individuals are typically appointed by your governor. So therefore, it's important for you to have individuals in those positions that are going to appoint individuals that care about the needs, your needs, and the needs of the state of Michigan. So therefore, you need to make sure that you vote for individuals who have a platform that are appropriate or aligned with your needs. But the thing is, we make sure that you vote. No one's going to tell you how to vote, but just make sure that you do vote. And we encourage individuals to just vote aligned with your needs and your platform. But if we have to get more women, of course, involved, because in the leadership process for the state of Michigan, so that the issues that are impacting us as females, that they are discussed and that they are paid attention to and that they are cared about. If I'm in the room with 10 men and there are no women in there, they don't understand the needs of a woman. And therefore, we have to make sure that we have women that are appointed to positions. We have to make sure that we have women that are elected to these positions. And the only way we do that is to make sure that we have women in all leadership positions within the state of Michigan. So again, that's a lot of what we're trying to educate you on tonight. And we're hopeful that many of you will leave here tonight with the idea that I think I might want to run for mayor. I like Governor Whitmer's position. I think I'm going to aim for that. We want you to leave here tonight, and you saw some very powerful women in Governor Granholm, Jocelyn Benson. You have the opportunity to think about those positions that are very, very, very early age. And so as you're sitting here tonight, think about what you want to be. Do you want to be that Supreme Court justice? Do you want to be the governor of the state of Michigan? Do you want to be the mayor of your city? Do you want to be a U.S. senator? Do you want to be a state senator? Do you want to be a state legislator? These are all opportunities for you to really influence what's going on in your state, in your city, and in your country. LaShonda Thomas, she was appointed as the chair. She was appointed on the board first of Ferris State University, and now she's appointed as the chair of the board of trustees for Ferris State University. She lives in the city of Detroit, but of course, this was a female that was appointed to this board by the governor. Next, we have Consuela Barbara Lopez. She was appointed as the vice chair of the Michigan Hispanic Latina Commission. So she makes sure that the issues that are impacting the Hispanic and Latina Commission, that are impacting Hispanic and Latinos, are cared about and are brought forward with the Hispanic and Latina Commission. She looks out to make sure that those issues are addressed. And again, women in leadership positions. And these are individuals that were appointed as opposed to elected. Kate Walters, she was appointed to the Board of Trustees at Grand Valley State University. Again, Grand Valley is one where the individual was appointed to the Board of Directors. As I mentioned earlier, we have three significant boards: Michigan State, Wayne State, and the University of Michigan, where individuals are elected. They have to run statewide for these offices to serve on the Board of Directors of those three universities. The others, the governor gets to appoint all of the other boards of directors for these colleges and universities. Pamela Pugh, she was the first Black woman elected as president of the Michigan State Board of Education. This was a statewide election, and she serves as president of the Michigan State Board of Education. She's happened to make decisions about your education, so you know how powerful she is. Danielle Atkinson, she was elected to serve on the Board of Governors for Wayne State University. Another one, Wayne State University, as I mentioned earlier, it is an elected position. It's a statewide elected position. All individuals within the state of Michigan have an opportunity to vote for the Board of Governors for Wayne State University, Michigan State University, and the University of Michigan. Catherine White, she's been in an elected position as vice chair of the Board of Regents at the University of Michigan. Very powerful position. Now it's quiz time. Are we ready? Ready, set, go. She was appointed as the chair of the Board of Trustees at Ferris State University. A, LaShonda Thomas. B, Consuela Barbara Lopez. C, Kate Walters. D, Pamela Pugh. E, Danielle Atkinson. Or F, Catherine White. And the answer is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. LaShonda Thomas. She was appointed as the vice chair of the Michigan Hispanic Latina Commission. A, LaShonda Thomas. B, Consuela Barbara Lopez. C, Kate Walters. D, Pamela Pugh. E, Danielle Atkinson. Or F, Catherine White. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is Consuela Barbara Lopez. She was appointed to the Board of Trustees at Grand Valley State University. LaShonda Thomas, Consuela Barbara Lopez, Kate Walters, Pamela Pugh, Danielle Atkinson, or Catherine White. And the answer is Kate Walters. I don't think I've seen a wrong answer. Anybody put a wrong answer in the chat yet. You all are so smart. And also, which means everyone's paying attention, right? First Black woman elected as president of the Michigan State Board of Education. LaShonda Thomas, Consuela Barbara Lopez, Kate Walters, Pamela Pugh, Danielle Atkinson, or Catherine White. And the answer is Pamela Pugh. She was appointed to the Board of Governors of Wayne State University. LaShonda Thomas, B. Consuela Barbara Lopez, C. Kate Walters, D. Pamela Pugh, E. Danielle Atkinson, or F. Catherine White. All correct again. Danielle Atkinson. She was elected as vice chair of the Board of Regents at the University of Michigan. A. LaShonda Thomas, B. Consuela Barbara Lopez, C. Kate Walters, D. Pamela Pugh, E. Danielle Atkinson, or F. Catherine White. And the answer is F. Catherine White. And our winners are Dana, let's give out some prizes here.
Give out some prizes. So the winners of the third quiz, this is probably like my favorite part, guys. We have Amelia K, Taylor L, Rain and Joy with Troop 77091, Lila P with Troop 77221, Braylon Z. And those are our winners from the third quiz. Congratulations. And now I'll go ahead. Yep, sure.
Okay. So congratulations, everybody. Good job on those quizzes. I can't wait till you see your prizes. I think you'll like them. So before I became the CEO of the Michigan Women's Commission, I helped to elect women to positions, including these women that you see here. I've worked with Jennifer Granholm, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, she's a congresswoman now, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence, and our current governor, Gretchen Whitmer. And I've done that I did that for many, many years as my career. And I just knew from a young age, as young as some of you, probably, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, 9, 10, just deep in my gut, that if we had more women leading, the place, our state, the world would be more equitable and just a brighter place to live. And I honestly still believe that. And that's why I still do the work that I do. So campaigns, so the governor, the Attorney General of Michigan, the Secretary of State, all of the members of our Michigan legislature who make the laws, all have to be elected. And political campaigns are expensive. And what my job was when I worked with these women on their political campaigns was to help them to raise the money that they needed to get elected. And so that was my role. But there are many roles on political campaigns that any of you might be interested in at some point in time. Even before you're able to vote, you can get out and knock on doors and spread information and help out in many ways on campaigns. And these women all were elected by the people in the state of Michigan by the vote. Next slide. So, like I said before, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, after she was elected as governor, she chose or appointed me to be the director of the Michigan Women's Commission, which has given me an opportunity to lead and help women in a different way than helping them get elected to office. And she appointed me because she knows that this is my passion, to have more women in leadership across the board. And just like Vivian said earlier, we're hopeful that all of you, and excited that all of you are getting an early start and might be interested in becoming an elected leader in Michigan. Now I think it's on to Vivian again.
Okay, good evening again. As you can see in this slide, Cheryl and I shared the passion for getting a number of the same women elected. Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I've hosted doing probably about hosted or co-hosted at least 3 significant fundraisers for her. For Governor Granholm, the same. For Karen Weaver, the same. For Vice President Kamala Harris, the same. And for me, there was an opportunity for me to support these candidates and many other candidates by providing financial support and encouraging my friends to provide financial support. I also have served by helping to get out and solicit votes for individuals. Debbie Dingle is not one on here, but Debbie Dingle is someone too that I have walked the polls for. I have helped to raise money for. And it's really, I really became just really engrossed in it and having a feeling that I was really contributing to the process and really committing to the process of democracy. And when I was out there knocking on doors and soliciting votes for my candidate, it was a great feeling because I felt as if I was helping to influence democracy in the state of Michigan. And of course, I always, if you feel that you're supporting the best candidate, then get out there and do what you can to support that person. In my role with General Motors, I also was able to help by, we had what we call a political action committee or a PAC. And it's a situation where employees within the company, they provide money to go into this PAC. And then leaders within the corporation will make decisions as to where those dollars will go. We sit in a room and make decisions about whether or not some of that money should go to support Governor Granholm. Do we want to support her opponent? And that's why, again, it's important to have women in the room, because you can say, you know, let's support Jennifer Granholm or let's support Gretchen Whitmer. But if it's all men in the room, the chances of a female getting some of the money from that PAC might be a little bit slim. Again, situations where we need women in all areas of leadership. So for me, working within General Motors helped me to influence in terms of funds. And we know all candidates, in order for them to be successful, all candidates need money. So again, as Cheryl mentioned, she did a lot of the fundraising for a lot of these candidates. So whatever you can give as you grow into your leadership roles and get able to really support a candidate, again, look at the platform of that candidate and determine whether or not it's someone that you want to support. I don't think everybody on this call obviously is going to run for an office, but there's so many ways you can influence legislation on a local, state, and national level. The city council individuals within your city, they're making the decisions regarding your local entity. Then you go move to the state. Then you have all of your state leaders making those decisions regarding what's going on in your state. And then you have the federal legislators that are making decisions about what's going on a national level. And each and every one of those individuals, as they're making decisions, is impacting each and every one of us. Thank you. So back to, as Cheryl mentioned, I serve as chair of the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee. And again, I was appointed by the governor to serve on the commission and then appointed to chair of the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee. And our goal is really to try to get more individuals in leadership roles within the state of Michigan. And we have some very broad ideas about what we want to do. But when we talked to the Girl Scouts about doing this project, it was a way of us really trying to start early with getting our young girls educated in the state of Michigan about how you can really develop into great leaders, business-wise, political-wise, nonprofits. All of these things really make a difference when it comes to leadership. And you can influence so many decisions by serving in leadership roles within the state. Let's have a quiz.
Quiz time again. Thank you,
Someone's going to
Vivian.
get lucky again.
That was so great. Thank you so much. This one is true or false. So you just need to type a T or an F into the chat. Cheryl, me, I'm the CEO of the Michigan Women's Commission. True or false? Five, four, three, two, one. Beep. It's true. I am the CEO of the Michigan Women's Commission. True or false? Vivian is the chair of the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee for the Michigan Women's Commission. Five, four, three, two, one. It's true.
I think for the first time we did receive a few incorrect answers.
But it's true.
So just remember, everyone, I was appointed to serve on the commission, but I serve as a member of the commission, and I serve as the chair of the Visible Authentic Leadership Committee. And this is the committee that's responsible for helping the Girl Scouts to put on this session this evening. Okay? Got it? Mm-hmm.
True or false? Cheryl worked on Danielle Atkinson's political campaign. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was false. I did work on Jennifer Granholm and Debbie Dingell's campaigns. But one thing that you should know about Danielle as well is that not only is she elected as a governor for the Wayne State Board of Governors, she was also appointed by Governor Whitmer to the Michigan Women's Commission. So she is also an appointee of the governor and serves on the Women's Commission. True or false? Vivian used to be the president of Apple.
That was a wish.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is false. Vivian was the president of the General Motors Foundation. Also a very powerful position. Who are the winners, Dana?
All right, so the winners, one moment. They answer fast. So the winners from the fourth quiz are Grace with troop 77091, Zaire B, Sarah and Allie, and Amelia K. Congratulations.
I think this, Vivian, is you again. How do women make it happen?
How do women make it happen? Let's move to the next slide. The legislative process. Just very, very briefly, again, women, when legislators are either local, state, or federal in those positions, they can develop bills to vote on that are impact us. They also can vote for and against issues that may impact us as women. They can also vote against bills that may be detrimental to us as women and as families, of course. So what are the things, as we get into the Crown Act right now, how would you feel if you were told that you couldn't do your job or be a good student because of your hair? Are you all familiar with the Crown Act? Some of you may be. The Crown Act really started, actually a friend of mine was one of the individuals, Esty Bracy Eggleton, who was with, at that time, she's now with Unilever, she was with Dove. There have been so many issues with African-American women and African-American students about hair. And you would think this is the last thing that people need to be concerned about in terms of hair. There's a lot of discrimination in our country, but hair is the last thing that you should be discriminated against because of your hair. So there was a number of individuals that started what they call the Crown Act, and it was first approved in the state of California. Now I believe there's 22 states that have approved what's called the Crown Act. And the crown, the CROWN, basically just means creating a respectful and open environment for natural hair. And it was signed, and as you can see on this picture, it showcases all of the varieties of how we as African Americans wear our hair. You see braids on here. You see some that are straightened, some in pigtails. But because of the texture of our hair, there's a lot of different ways that individuals can wear it. But for some individuals, it's not acceptable. So, as you can see, even from just us on the call, the African American women or young girls that are on the call, there's all kind of different textures of our hair. Some of us are in braids, some of us are in what we call ponytails or pigtails or whatever you want to call them. So there's many ways, but before the Crown Act was put forth in California and then in the other states, a lot of corporations, a lot of leaders, a lot of these leaders had issues with how African Americans would wear their hair, and they were discriminated against because of how they wear their hair. And I'm sure that many of you on this phone, on the call this evening, some of us like our hair pink today, purple tomorrow, blue the next day. You do not want individuals telling you what to do with your hair. So now, because of the Crown Act, you cannot be discriminated against because of how you wear your hair. So again, it predominantly impacts African Americans, but of course, it's based on everybody. I don't care whether or not you're red, black, green, or yellow, you still may have the texture to be able to wear your hair in braids or in any of these styles that are shown on the screen. And the Crown Act allows you to be able to do that without being discriminated against. Again, whatever color you want to wear your hair, however you want to wear it, you can be as creative, obviously, as you want to, based on the fact that the Crown Act and our governor, Governor Granholm, signed the bill at this past summer of 2023. And again, we're one of the 22 or 23 states that have approved the Crown Act. But of course, a man may not have understood the significance of the Crown Act, but fortunately, we had a female governor in place that truly understands that we as women and young girls, we want to wear our hair however we want to wear it. So thank you to Governor Granholm for signing the bill that allows us to do that. So again, inclusion, and it's very important for us to be inclusive in all that we do. Every culture is different. You can see on the screen, we eat different, we talk different, we wear different clothes. Our families are different, but each culture, again, is different. But we share and we have as much more in common as we do difference. We all kind of want the same thing when it comes to a democratic society, when it comes to democracy, when it comes to doing the right thing, and we all want great leadership. I think all of you, when you mentioned what do you view as great leadership, the words that you threw out were respectful, really the characteristics that we would want in anybody: respectful, teamwork, leadership, honest. So again, those are all of the great, and we have all of that, fortunately, in the leadership of our state of Michigan. And we're so proud to have her as our governor. And because of her, again, there have been a number of issues that have come forward and really where she's made a difference when it comes to women issues. And one, the child care piece, again, the Crown Act. Those are two very significant ones that we can just throw off the top of our heads that she has really made a difference in. And again, because legislators listen, and because Governor Whitmer signed off on it, we now are able to wear our hair however we want to wear our hair. And again, it's not only, it was led by African American women, but it impacts everyone as a culture. So thank you so much. Next.
And this just covers today some of the things that we learned, why women in leadership is important, how a bill becomes a law, what a commission is, powerful women in leadership positions in Michigan. So now we're going to have some time for some Q&A. So if you have your questions, go ahead and enter them in the chat. There were some questions that I'm going to select. One moment, and I will pull those up. We had a couple of good questions that were asked. So, Care with Troop 76921 wanted to ask you all, what inspired you to help and empower other women? This is like a two-part question. So what inspired you to help and empower other women, and what has been the most rewarding experience in your work so far helping other women? Good question. And that is for Cheryl and Vivian.
For me, my reason for wanting to do what I can to support women, other women and women issues is because I had so many individuals support me in my career and in my life. So because of that, I feel an obligation to give back. My admin said to me that I was going to go broke by taking young ladies to lunch and dinner. But my philosophy is if I have anything to share, or if a young woman believes that I have anything to share, I believe I have an obligation to do whatever I can to support those individuals. And my greatest, in terms of my feeling, my greatest feeling is when I see individuals that I have supported, to see them grow into leadership roles and to see them make a difference and to see them then mentor other women. So those of you that are on the call, I don't care whether you're 10, 18, 5, or 6. There's always someone a little bit younger than you that you too can support and mentor and make a difference in their life. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. That is so true. I've had so many really strong women mentor me throughout my life and career, and it's really powerful to have someone, another woman, mentoring you and lifting you up as they continue to rise. Boy, I've had a lot of really cool things happen in my career, but I don't remember. I think Vivian mentioned it, that we in Michigan now have all 3 of our top elected leaders are women, and 40% of the members of our legislature are now women, which is one of the highest number of women's in the country in the legislature. We want to get it to 50 plus, because that we are 50 plus of the population, but we are getting there. And I like to think that the work that I've done to help elect a lot of these women leaders has made it possible for these gains. And so while it was super exciting to have elected the first United States Senator from Michigan back in 2000, Debbie Stabenow, and then to elect the very first woman governor, Governor Granholm, in 2002, many moons ago. Those were really exciting experiences. And what was the second part of the question? Oh, what inspired? The first part was inspired. And I just, like I said before, I've just known from when I was your age. I'm seeing young women here from all different ages, but when I was young, I just knew that we needed more women leaders, and in order to make our world a better place.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So Lila wants to know, and this is Lila from Troop 77221. She wants to know, what would you consider your greatest accomplishment so far in your career? And either of you are welcome to answer.
I don't know if it was, this is Vivian, and I don't know if it was my greatest accomplishment, but it was my greatest honor. Those of you that are on the call, you may know Rosa Parks. Hopefully, can I get nods, heads if you know, have you heard the name Rosa Parks? She was this
Give a thumbs up, yes, if you
civil
know.
rights leader. I had the opportunity, along with Debbie Dingle, to plan her Detroit funeral. And it was my honor to have been able to do that. So again, that was, again, one of my honors.
All right, thank you, Vivian. Cheryl, did you want to
Thanks,
take?
Vivian. Yeah, that's amazing.
Mhm.
I think again, it was the opportunity to have made history, to be a part of making history with those firsts, those women who were firsts, and then also being able to organize and plan all of their inaugurations. So those are the big ceremonies when they're actually officially sworn in as governor or senator. And those were just high honors. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Harper from Troop 76862 wants to know, were either of you Girl Scouts?
I was not a Girl Scout. I was what we call a 4-H person. I grew up in the South. So instead of a Girl Scout, I was a 4-H'er, which was similar to Girl Scouts.
I was not a Girl Scout. My daughter was for several years, a Brownie and a Girl Scout. I played a lot of sports, basketball, softball. That was my thing. Not that you can't be a Girl Scout and play sports. I'm sure many of you do, but I was not a Girl Scout.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, but I do have to tell you that Governor Whitmer was a Brownie. Just FYI.
I see the shock and awe in some of the faces that are on this evening, because I didn't know that as well. So it was that was nice to learn that. So Rain and Joy with Troop 77091, they would like to know, what classes did you take in school? What did you study?
This is Vivian again. I studied undergrad. I studied, I have a graduate degree, and I have a master's degree, and I have an honorary doctorate degree. So my undergrad, my bachelor's degree is in Human Services Administration. My master's degree is in business administration, and my honorary doctorate is in leadership. And of course, in human services administration, I did take management classes, and I also took psychology classes. And I took classes that are related to administering human services. Giving back to my community was always something that I wanted to do. And then for my master's, I majored in business administration. And I am so proud of so many of you who probably already know what you want to do in life, right? Right? I see a whole lot of heads that are shaking. I am one of those individuals that never knew what I wanted to do. And I still do not know what I want to do. But one of the things that never stopped me from doing is continuing to learn. So and to continue to educate myself. But everything that I have done in my life, I have truly enjoyed it.
And
Cheryl?
Vivian, if you could know what schools you went to, that was an additional question from Taylor.
Oh,
So since
okay.
we're talking about what we studied, if you can tell us what schools you went to as well.
I received my undergrad degree at Ferris State University. And if you can remember, there was a female that's now the chair of the board of Ferris. And I received my master's degree at Central Michigan University and my honorary doctorate at Ferris State University. I did take leadership classes toward a PhD at Western Michigan University. But at that time, you guys, this is going to be crazy, but at that time I was 26, 27. And everybody in that class were old people. They were 40-something years old, and I was bored. So I said, I do not want to hear about these 40-year-old, the kids and all of that. So therefore, as a 26, 27-year-old, I took 6 classes and got bored. But then, of course, later on went back.
Thank you, Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know, Vivian, that you had an honorary PhD. That is so cool.
Yes.
Um,
Ferris makes sure that I know it. Everything they send out is doctor this, and they refer as doctor. So
we're going to call you doctor from now on.
that's okay.
New rule.
Uh-huh.
I graduated from Michigan State University, go Spartans, with a degree in journalism. And I never became a journalist. So but I had always, even like in high school and then throughout college, I volunteered on political campaigns. And right before I was going to graduate from Michigan State University, I had an internship. Some of you probably won't even know who this is, but with Governor Blanchard. It was way long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this was in 1990. And I thought I was so excited because I thought I was in his communications office. So I was doing kind of journalism work, but for the governor. And I really thought that he was going to be reelected and I would be all set up for as soon as I graduated from college with a job in the governor's office. Well, he lost the election and it was a very big surprise to everyone. So I went back to waiting tables for a while and working on political campaigns. And so you just never know what life is going to throw you. But just like Vivian said, just keep learning. And no matter, there's so many people I know that have college degrees in one certain, like me with journalism, and then ended up working on political campaigns. And now, the CEO of the Michigan Women's Commission. You don't have to have it all figured out immediately. Everything keeps evolving. So just keep learning is my advice to you.
Thank you. Now we have a question from Braylon. She wants to know, can you send a letter to the governor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a letter to Dana and we can get a letter to the governor. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And in fact, there's like official ways to get letters to the governor. So anybody, period. Now, it doesn't even have to be someone from the state of Michigan can send a letter directly to the governor.
Awesome. Okay. And they have, Braylon asked, did any of you go to Wayne State? Well, I went to Wayne State, Braylon, for graduate school in social work. So we'll throw that in there. And, bachelor's in radio programming. So I know how it is when you get a degree in one thing and then you end up in a whole nother direction, right? It happens and it's okay. I have a master's in social work. So, all right, that is going to end our question and answer time period for now. And so we're going to go back and share the screen. Again, I am so glad that you all joined us this evening. And so I just want to remind you all that if you attend at least 5 out of 10 of the virtual speaker series, you'll receive a custom Michigan Women's Commission leadership patch. And so we'll be using surveys to keep track of your attendance in each one. And if you need to, and if you want to receive credit, then you have to fill out a survey. And so we have the surveys here. We have the QR codes for the surveys. There's an adult survey and there's a girl survey. Now, again, if you're on your phone and you can't scan the QR code, Kelly, she went ahead and put the links to the surveys in the chat. So you should be able to see that. There's an adult survey, and she'll also load, or she already put the girl survey in there as well. So I will also follow up and email you the links to the survey so that you can complete them, so you can get your credit for attending and get you're one step closer to earning that Custom Michigan Women's Commission patch. I also will email you the presentation from tonight. So if there's any information that you got and you say, oh, this is new information, I didn't know about this, we want you to be able to go back to it and take a look at it. You might want to dig deeper, learn more about the women that were talked about this evening. And so you'll have their names and titles and things of that nature. And we'll also have the vocabulary list. If you didn't get a chance to look at that, if there were some words that you may be unsure of the meaning, we have a vocabulary list that'll be attached to the email so that you can have that as well and follow up. And it's always good, even as you grow, to just continue to add to your vocabulary and learn the definition of new things. So that will be coming to you. And the deadline for the surveys, you'll have to complete them by Monday, December 4th by 5 p.m. So you'll have those, you have them here in the chat, and you'll also have them emailed tonight so that you'll have those available to you. Now, I will tell you the second virtual Friday Night Live with the Commissioner will be Friday, January 26th, and it will be the same time, 5:30 to 7 o'clock. And I do hope to see you all there. We will have a different topic that we will announce, and we will have a different special speaker that day. So tell your fellow Girl Scouts that missed out on tonight that we got the second chance, we got a second time coming up. Well, where they missed this one, but they can learn something new from who we have present on January 26th. So thank you all and have a good night. I'll stay on for a little while if you want to send me a direct message. If you have any additional questions, I'll stay on for about 10 minutes to answer any questions that you all might have. Did anyone else, did Cheryl or Vivian or anyone have anything they want to say before everyone leaves?
I just want to say thank you to everyone for participating. I hope that this was beneficial to all of you, and they will just continue to get better.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I echo that. It was so great to see all of you. Thanks.
Yes, you all's participation was wonderful. You were a wonderful group, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. So good night. Oh, go ahead, Vivian.